What's up, guys? Guess what time it is?
We're working on the Cobra.
That's
baby.
crazy.
We undid one bolt. We're done for the day.
Alright, see you guys later.
Anyways, as you can see,
we have a really Frankenstein setup here, and we're gonna unfuck all of this. We're gonna start tearing this sucker down. So we're gonna throw you guys right up there on that mount, and we're gonna blast this fucker apart. Is the hope. So we're gonna start with getting the radiator drained and removed, all of the coolant system apart and removed, probably the front accessories for the transmission. Listen to me. For the engine.
Yeah.
So your power steering pump, your alternator, all that crap. It's gone. She's getting the fuck out of here, bud. Sorry, did I scare you?
Bye.
Oh. And then we're gonna pull the intake system and the intake manifold off and just start unplugging shit. Get all the wiring off of it and get this engine ready to come the fork out. I don't think we'll get this all done tonight, but we're gonna get as far as we can because we're itching.
We've got an empty 55-gallon drum outside to store the fluids.
Yes. You want to take this out there and show them the drum?
Yeah. You guys are ready. You guys aren't ready for this. We're gonna go out here where it's dark, but wait a minute, Let there be light, brother. We've got a 55-gallon drum right here.
Oh, it was so loud.
That bad boy. And we're gonna put all the fluids.
all the fluids.
And honestly, that is kind of perfect height.
Oh my god.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But regardless, like I said, we're gonna try to get as much apart as we can without. We're gonna do it in a way that makes sense because we want to be able to put this back together properly once we do have an engine for it. So obviously keep that in mind. But like I said, we're gonna throw you up there, do a little time lapse, and we'll bring you back when we have some updates on things. If we find anything spicy, whether it may be critter damage or whatever, because we know that there were critters in here.
We do.
I would be surprised if I didn't find something.
Alright guys, well as you just saw, we pulled the radiator overflow out. We just dumped it out back in the drum. We had some fun with this connector because in order to get the radiator overflow out, we had to remove this bracket, and there's a module that plugs in right here. And I was having a hell of a time with this connector, but as you can see, there's a bolt. I forgot these older Fords. Some of these big bulk connectors or module connectors will actually have bolts holding them in. And once I realized that, it came right the hell out. So we got that taken care of. As you can see, our harness has seen better freaking days. Whoever wired this shit needs to go back to school. Because, I mean, you can still see copper. Like the wire is exposed. So we'll take care of that. That's for a later date. We're just ripping the sucker apart right now. But we're going to go ahead and throw you guys back up there. And we'll see how much further we get.
All right, guys, off camera, we forgot to hit the button, my bad. But we pulled the radiator out, got the hoses off the engine, so the lower and the upper. We just stuffed this towel in here because obviously there's still coolant in the engine, but there's nothing we can do about that. Not our problem, we just got to get this sucker out.
Not our circus, not our monkeys.
Yeah. So, we did discover that there is some gunky looking shit in the engine as far as through the cooling system. So, just another reason why we're happy we're not keeping this piece of shit. So we're gonna, I guess we can start taking the accessory drive all apart, get the alternator, power steering, all that crap off. Hope that there isn't refrigerant in it. We can test it by hitting pressing down the old plunger deal. see if any pressure comes out, and that'll kind of let us know. But yeah, we're gonna get this stuff apart, and then we'll work on the intake, and then probably call it a night after that. All right, guys, again, we kind of just got into the swing of things, my bad, but we made some progress. As you can see, the intake manifold and whole intake system is gone. Obviously, we already took the radiator out. I told you about that earlier. We took the belt off. I think that's it, maybe?
I think so.
But it looks a lot better than I was anticipating. I'm hoping we will be able to figure out a lot of these wires that weren't plugged in, and we found a lot of goofy stuff from whoever the hell worked on this thing. The intake, some of the intake manifold bolts were loose as shit. Vacuum lines not plugged in or capped off. Like, we're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, there was some shit.
But we're gonna call it a night. All right, guys, as you can see, we are back. Back onto the Cobra.
How much time has passed between this is none of your business.
But we are trying our darndest. But as I said in the previous clip, we're gonna work on getting this thing ready to pull. So what you're gonna see from this point on is us getting the front accessory drive components removed, get all the wiring removed, really anything that keeps us from pulling the motor, essentially, other than only thing we're not tackling is the bolts that hold the motor to the transmission, the bell housing bolts. So we're going to go ahead and get the water pump, or not water pump, the power steering pump, alternator, idlers, all that crap, this big bracketry dealio, all that crap off. So we will have a little more room to see, and pretty soon she's going to be a naked engine pretty quick.
Yeah.
These old cars are pretty easy to work on. I mean,
I would say it's definitely easier than.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt.
I mean, if you guys just go back real quick to one of our older videos, Project Gladys, I think I called her, my old 62 T-Bird. I pulled that motor in 25 minutes. Granted, it was carbureted, didn't have wiring really.
All the bells and whistles.
It was fucking 70 bajillion years old. But nonetheless, we're going to get started to get all this stuff yanked out of here. And we'll bring you guys back on. We got an update.
All right, guys. Little update here. So, when in doubt, thug it out.
So, we forgot. I meant to grab it from work. My fuel line and AC line disconnect tool. And I'm like, fuck, I mean, we can just cut it because we're going to change all this shit anyway. But I was like, you know what? Maybe we could go to Harbor Freight. They sell them. He found them online for like $6 or something.
Half that.
Or half that, $3. And I was like, you know what? You got yourself like an old worm clamp. So I've done this. It's been a while, but I've done it. So you take the part off of the worm clamp that tightens it. And once you have the proper sized connection anyway, because obviously there's...
Typically it looks like this. You remove that.
Yeah. And obviously you got to find the size that's more appropriate for whatever you're trying to do.
Just that ring.
Because basically all the tool does is it does the same thing. It slides. Where's the line at? No, wrong one. So it's this end. The tool would slide in it just like this did, and then you yank on the line, it comes out. All right, guys, we're running into an issue here.
So we kind of beat the shit out of this pulley a little bit, but I think secretly it likes it because if you start rubbing it and twist it just a tiny bit, it's
All jokes aside, we know this isn't the way you're supposed to remove it. You need a pulley puller, but we are trying to avoid leaving at all costs so we can just keep rolling and getting everything off. But that didn't work. We were already planning on changing the power steering pump and pulley and all that stuff. Regardless, either way, so it didn't really matter. So we're like, yeah, if it breaks, who cares? But that is not working, so we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. See if Nick has any more tricks up his sleeve.
Got you a present.
Oh, thank you. All right, fellers, it's been a little bit, but as you can see, that motor looks a little empty in the front now.
Looks pretty naked.
We ran into some issues, as you saw. I was able to pry that pulley off because we're lazy, and we were going to replace it anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
That's Planet Stang fashion, bud. We don't do things the right way. We just do it a way.
Yeah, we do it the Planet Stang way.
Yeah.
Which is more difficult, more time consuming, sometimes more costly, but god damn it, it's our fucking way.
First with our special tool earlier, and then...
That one didn't cost us, thankfully. But
no.
The other one, yeah.
But again, these are all things you're going to want to change. I think you're going to want to put a new alternator on it. You're going to want to put a new power steering pump because this shit is... We don't even know if that was what came with the car originally.
I don't know if we even showed this or not, but I just want to show you kind of what we're talking about here when we say that we want to replace all this stuff, because you guys might be saying, well, why? That stuff looks totally fine. Just to give you a basis of how this car was put together, right? What should be so simple, notice how this is twisting as it's coming out and grabbing and pulling. It's not supposed to be twisted like that. And it's also not supposed to be cockeyed or cut
on the end of it. I don't even personally think this is the correct dipstick for this engine.
This is clearly cut because there's no spot on here at all that indicates level.
Yeah.
There's no indication.
So this is what we mean by we want to replace everything, because we do not trust whoever worked on this as far as we can throw them.
Like, I shouldn't have to force a dipstick down in.
Yeah. And even once it's in all the way, all you gotta do is give it a baby little bloop. So that's like, I'm pretty sure it's either getting bound up in there or it's touching the bottom of the pan.
Yeah. But just to give you guys an example as to why we're doing some of this stuff.
So hopefully that makes a little more sense for you. We're going to try to at least get the distributor cap with all the wires and the harness disconnected, maybe the fuel line off of it as well. And then we'll call it there. The next video, we're going to pull this motor. So before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and get these couple last things taken care of, and then we'll bring you guys back on.
Sweet.
How are you thinking?
Scary.
It's getting...
Well, mainly for what has to go into it, but not... I feel accomplished, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like we got more done today than what we were really anticipating that we were going to do, to be honest with you. I know I speak for the both of us. We had a few
hiccups
and fights, but we got through it, so that's all I can say. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is going to clean up pretty nice. We got a few spots that are a little scary, but I mean, if you remember, like, some of this surface rust was up here as well, and I wiped all away after that oil got on it. So I think the majority of that will clean up. So now I'm slightly less scared of that. Overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy.
Me too. As you can see, I don't know if we mentioned it, but we did get the condenser out. Obviously, we pulled the radiator out and all the cooling stuff out a while ago, earlier in this video.
Fucked.
Yeah, the condenser was really cooked. Clearly, it was bent and beat to shit, frankly.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have to cut any lines because, as you saw, I came up with a pretty nice little trick, and it worked.
Ghetto rigged, but it worked.
I think it worked like 7-8 different times.
Yeah.
Between the AC and the fuel lines. So we got that figured out. As you can see, we got the power steering, charging system, everything off the front of the motor. So she's looking pretty cute in there. She's a pretty small little engine. Once you get all the crap off of it.
Hunk of shit.
But then we got the distributor cap and wires, and really the whole wiring system draped off to the left and up towards the back there. But as you can see, all we have left is the headers and the bell housing bolts. and motor mounts and basic stuff like that. So we're just about there, guys. Like seriously, it's so freaking close. It's kind of wild because we didn't really put that much work into it so far. But
yeah, and then it's out with the old and with the not Frankenstein,
and we'll be able to get the parts a lot easier because we're not like, hey, it came from maybe this year.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe it was
I
a
don't
94, 3, 2. I don't fucking know.
Came from I don't know.
But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like
and comment
and subscribe.
Oh, whoa!
Subscribe.
Yeah, and make sure to check out all the other videos because obviously we've said it before. We've got a good amount of subscribers, but we don't have the views.
We don't. We're averaging about 100 and 150 or so views per video.
Unless it's Mustang Week stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the majority of why you guys subscribe, but we'd appreciate it if you give us a little bit. Just to,
yeah, like
just
we're doing cool stuff. We're not doing Planet Install.
Yeah, we're not like, hey, I bought these freaking S5 or S650 headlights for my S550.
Or hey, we bought this shifter that we're putting in. Like,
yeah.
We're actually doing cool shit.
Like, we got a whole ass project car, bro. We did this for you guys, and because Andy wanted one.
And now I'm broke.
So help a brother out. Help us get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we do.
So without further ado, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Do all the things and such, and we'll see you guys. And I said such, didn't I?
Yeah.
Beans. Well, on that note, beans. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.